Dear Hongik parents, when stepping into a car filled with hot air after being parked, it reminds me that summer has indeed come close. For over 15 years, I have taught countless students and met many parents, constantly thinking and researching how students can receive the greatest possible benefit. Many Taekwondo experts I know all commonly say that the relationship that has the greatest influence on children is with their parents, and that the most effective education happens when we work in cooperation with them. That is why, at Hongik Taekwondo, we do not end education solely within the dojang, but strive to support each child's growth through a strong connection with their home. When parents understand and empathize with the direction and goals of our teaching, children gain twice the strength and are able to achieve deeper self-reflection and development. Therefore, we are planning to send out a school parent letter to help you understand and relate to the educational direction of Hongik Taekwondo by gradually sharing various aspects such as the direction in which we teach students in class, the reasons behind that guidance, what kinds of attitudes or changes we observe as important during training, and why we sometimes take a more firm approach, among other things. Moving forward, we will continue to provide tailored instruction that fits the individual characteristics and circumstances of each student, helping them discover their inner potential and build confidence. And in that process, we will always treasure walking hand in hand with parents and continue with an open heart. The following is about the educational approach and practices that take place during classes at Hongik Taekwondo. If there are 1,000 children, there are 1,000 different types of aptitudes and talents. And these unique aptitudes and talents often naturally reveal themselves without the child making a particular effort, showing outstanding development in that area compared to others. Because each child already possesses their own natural aptitude and talent, we believe it is important to first discover and encourage it, and instill confidence through generous praise. At the same time, we guide them to challenge themselves in areas beyond their natural strengths to achieve balanced growth. Rather than a leader who only knows their own strengths and area of expertise, a true leader of people is someone who, based on their own talents and abilities, also possesses an understanding of various other fields. The ideal leader we aim to cultivate at Hongik Taekwondo is someone who can communicate smoothly and understand people from diverse backgrounds. In the future, the convergence of different fields will become even more important, and the leaders of tomorrow must not only know their own field, but also understand others' perspectives. Furthermore, the ability to adjust and communicate in a way that others can understand will become a crucial competitive edge. This kind of communication ability cannot be achieved simply by knowing one's own area of talent. While developing and studying one's own talent can be done alone, communicating it to others and interacting with society requires a completely different level of ability. This is where the principle of relativity comes into play. When using one's own knowledge and skills, one must consider the other person and adjust accordingly in order for the message to be truly delivered. For example, if I am an expert in a certain field and I meet with 10 people one-on-one in a single day, even if I am conveying the same content, the way I explain it must change depending on each person's level of understanding and background in order for all 10 to fully grasp the message. As a result, 10 completely different conversations will emerge. To explain something in a way that suits the other person, you must understand their background and field, which ultimately means that true helpful communication requires knowledge beyond your own area of expertise. That is why, at Hongik Taekwondo, we teach students the following. If you say something and the other person doesn't understand, the responsibility lies not with the listener, but with the speaker. We explain clearly that blaming or criticizing someone for not understanding your words is not the attitude of a good leader, and we teach why that kind of mindset is wrong. Moreover, if the other person doesn't understand what you said, we guide students to reflect on why might that be, and to try harder to learn more about that person's background and perspective. This eventually leads to listening more carefully to what the other person is saying. At first, it might feel frustrating, but the more you listen, the more you understand the other person. And once you start adjusting your words to match them, they will understand you clearly, feel helped by what you said, and naturally respond with gratitude toward the leader. In other words, if a leader speaks and the listener doesn't understand, the responsibility lies with the speaker. It's because the speaker explained in a way only they understand. In such cases, we teach students to actually speak less and instead focus on listening carefully and thoroughly to the other person. The more you listen, the better you understand them, and only then can you adjust your words accordingly so that they truly understand what you mean. Developing the habit of patiently listening until the other person finishes speaking leads to broader perspective and deeper insight. Even when we assign students small leadership roles, we nurture these habits one by one in our Taekwondo classes, so that they can become leaders who listen to others and continually think about how to communicate more effectively. I hope this has provided even a little bit of clarity to our Hongik Taekwondo parents and has been helpful for your children as well. Hongik Taekwondo is always here to walk alongside parents. Thank you.